watching Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Schultz here with you. Thanks for joining us as we bring you the latest roster updates on your Seattle Seahawks. They made some changes to the roster with players they brought in. They worked out a few others. They also moved on from somebody. We'll tell you about all that and more coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, all this week, leading up to this Sunday's game against the Miami Dolphins, we are doing a sub-battle between our Seahawks channel and our Dolphins channel, hosted by Nick Roloff. And I bring Smitty into the program now, and you may be wondering, Smitty, what are you doing here? Well, Smitty, you happen to know the one and only Nick Roloff very well. Not only are you guys coworkers, but you went to college together, and so I figured you were the right man to bring in for a little smack talk here. Tell us what we need to know on Rolly here.
Absolutely. First off, if we're going to associate one word with Nick Roloff, it's fraud, all right? The guy is a fraud, and we're going to take him down on Sunday. Those lowly Dolphins running Skylar Thompson at quarterback. Roloff thinks that they're still somehow going to pull out a win. I've been telling him he's crazy all week, and he's going to find out that he's an absolute psychopath on Sunday. And we are going to bury him all game long. F. Rolly, he's a fraud. Sub to the channel. Let's beat him in the sub battle, and let's beat him on Sunday because the guy is absolutely insane.
So, for somebody that's known Rolly for quite some time, you've heard it first. Absolute fraud.
This isn't a new development. I've known the guy for 5 years now. 5 years.
There you have it.
Psycho.
Sub to the channel, spam F. Rolly, and we'll get started with today's show. The Seahawks with a number of roster moves, as within the last 24 hours, they've worked out a total of 6 players. They signed 3, and then they also released defensive tackle Quinton Bohanna off the practice squad. So let's tell you about these workouts and also the players they ended up signing. They worked out Ian Book, the former quarterback out of Notre Dame, who has one career start with the New Orleans Saints, most recently with the Kansas City Chiefs, spent training camp with them. They also worked out Denzel Mims, who was a second-round pick by the New York Jets out of the University of Baylor. They worked out Miles Boykin, the wide receiver formerly of the Baltimore Ravens. They also worked out wide receiver Jaelen Gill, cornerback Tyler Hall, and they also worked out wide receiver Tanner Knue, I believe is how you pronounce his last name there. So with that, there's the workouts. Now, who did they sign? Well, they ended up signing Miles Boykin. They also signed Brittain Brown, a running back. And then Marquise Blair is making his return again. He has been signed as well to the practice squad. Now, it doesn't mean they won't sign the other guys that they've worked out, but at least for now, these are the 3 that they've decided to roll with. Now, based on all of those workouts, and then on top of that, the signing of Miles Boykin, clearly the Seahawks are interested in some wide receiver help, that they're looking at their options to the wide receiver position. And if you look at Boykin, he's somebody that has had a few moments over the years. A few. 2019 third-round pick out of Notre Dame by the Ravens. Previously played for the Steelers as well as the Giants. A lot of experience. 73 career games played with 25 starts in the National Football League. And you look at his career statistics, not a bad number for his average yards per reception, 13.1. He's had 7 touchdowns, close to 500 receiving yards, 38 catches. He's starting on the practice squad, but of any of the guys we've mentioned here, he's the one that's got the best shot to potentially get that elevation to the active roster for the Seattle Seahawks. My grade for these moves that the Seahawks made, I mean, you didn't really move the needle. You didn't get a whole lot better, but you didn't hurt yourselves either. I'm going to go with a solid B-. I think that's more than fair to go with a B- for this grade of what they've done. I think Boykin is by far their best move here. Makes a lot of sense. We'll go over these a little more in detail here in just a moment, but want to hear from you guys. How would you grade the signing of Miles Boykin? A, B, C, D, or F, weigh in the comments section, get your grades in, and let us know what you think. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the best place to go. For the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time's got it all. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have their super deals. If you see a super deal, that's going to be one you don't want to pass up on. They also have their seat views, so you can get the visual, see what your seat is like. Maybe you want to go to a Seahawks game, potentially this weekend against the Dolphins, or you want to go see the Mariners, the Seattle Storm, whatever it may be. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Then you choose your seat, see if you like that seat or not, and then you're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. So now I want to shift our focus back to Ian Book, who the Seahawks worked out. They haven't signed him. Doesn't mean they won't sign him. But I thought it was a little odd that the Seahawks even gave a workout to Ian Book, if we're going to be honest with you. I almost called him Ian, like he's Ian Eagle or something. Anyways, I think, honestly, I look at where the Seahawks are at the quarterback position, and this is the best I have felt about this quarterback room in a long time. That's why Book here doesn't make a ton of sense to me. 2021 fourth-round pick out of Notre Dame by the Saints. Had stints with the Eagles, the Patriots, most recently with the Chiefs. And he started one game back when he was with the Saints. And let's just say it did not go very well. A completion percentage of 60%, 2 interceptions, 135 passing yards, and no touchdowns. I didn't even like the guy when he said Notre Dame, to be honest with you. And now here he is, a journeyman in the NFL. The quarterbacks for Seattle, here's how you break down the situation, all right? Geno's off to a great start to this season, and he is a natural fit in this offense and what Ryan Grubb's wanting to do. He's gelling with his receivers. Run game and offensive line could use a little help, but Geno looks pretty good. So you're not trying to replace Geno by any stretch, and he's fully healthy, so it's not like you need another quarterback in there for that sake. Sam Howell looked fantastic, I thought, in the preseason. He's shown that he's more than capable of being a quality backup quarterback in this league, and he's not replacing Geno anytime soon, but if his name is called upon, I think the Seahawks have seen enough from Sam Howell that they can feel pretty confident in his abilities. And then there's Jaren Hall, who's your practice squad quarterback, and you could argue that Jaren Hall showed enough with Minnesota that he should be a number 2 quarterback somewhere in this league, that he's better than a lot of the number 2 quarterbacks. And he's a young guy, of course, came out of BYU a couple of years ago. I think that all three are a really good fit for this Seahawks team right now. You look at Geno's statistics. Last week, led the league in passing yards, over 300. He's got close to 500 for the season. His completion percentage is the highest of his entire career at close to 74%. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Geno's playing pretty well. I don't see this quarterback room changing. I know they gave the workout to Ian Book, but I don't think that Ian Book's getting signed. I don't think they're going to bring in another quarterback, and honestly, I don't think they should worry about bringing in another quarterback at this point in time. I think that this quarterback room looks like they're in good shape. Does that mean that they're not going to bring in another quarterback next offseason? That doesn't mean that at all. We'll have that discussion when we get to that point. But at least right now, I'm pretty confident what I've seen from Geno Smith and this quarterback room. What's your confidence level in the Seahawks quarterback right now? Scale it for me 1 through 10. I got to tell you, I would give this for Geno right now. I'm feeling so good. I got to go with an 8 out of 10. And that might be a little high, but I like what I've seen. And I think the best is still yet to come for Geno Smith here in 2024. If you enjoyed today's show, you got to subscribe. And we got to win the sub battle. We got to beat Rolly this week, folks. You heard about the fraud that he is. Smitty gave you everything you needed to know about him. Subscribe now and never miss a moment. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. I'm Tyler Jones. We'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.